Erik ten Hag joined Manchester United. He implemented strict new training rules, making training a lot more tough, intense for players to judge their character, their work rate and decide if Manchester United players can stay or go in his long-term plans. How are certain players responding to Erik ten Hag's training? Some of them are thriving, some of them are not thriving, and ten Hag is choosing who stays and goes through training and performances on the pitch. Could Amazon be the next buyers of Manchester United? In yesterday's live stream, we spoke about the full sale being targeted for the next 2 or 3 months, and it seems Amazon are the favourites. And what are players saying about ten Hag's strict new training and more? Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Please do smash that like button if you haven't already, and of course subscribe down below if you're new, because there will be a news update video tonight, probably after the World Cup game, Croatia, Argentina. But we're talking about ten Hag. Ten Hag, has got to decide who stays or goes. Ten Hag is very brutal and his training is very tough. It's tougher than Man United had before, and it's very much a who stays or who goes training judgment, with players like Wan-Bissaka, 3, 4, 5 others not fit to ten Hag's standards. A few of them have still got to prove themselves, and a few of them ten Hag is praising and saying they're in his long-term plans. But also, what else has been happening? The Glazer ownership, Amazon. We'll quickly touch upon that, but we did touch upon it a little bit in my video yesterday. But before I dive into today's news and video, I want to remind you guys this video is sponsored by my favourite OneFootball app. I literally get all my news either off the OneFootball app or Twitter, and because Twitter's quite blunt, I sometimes find that article on the OneFootball app to give me more context. It is a really good football app to keep you up to date with news, and I like it because I can just click and go to my Man United section, but also all my other football news is there, because I do like to follow other football news, as well as scoreline updates, to do shorts. Definitely the best app because it's just free, it's easy to use, and it's very, very good. There is a link in the description to go ahead and download that. But let's get into the news. Shall we start with the Amazon news? Because I'm going to get through that really quick because we spoke about a lot of it yesterday. And then I'm going to go boosh, boosh, boosh into the ten Hag news. So it was said Rain at the mandated bank is targeting the full sale of Manchester United in the first quarter of a price between 6 to 7 billion. We spoke about this yesterday. Athletic said basically Rain's aim is to have the full sale of Man United happen in the first quarter of 2023. So that's basically mid-March. So between January, February and mid-March, 7 billion sale of Man United, that is the aim to happen. Who's going to buy United? Well, it said that attentions have turned to potential buyers such as Amazon and Apple, but the Athletic have said that Apple have distanced themselves from a move to purchase United and have no interest. Amazon have declined to comment, but they are trying to branch into football with the sponsorships of Napoli and purchase the broadcast rights of the Premier League, but Apple staying private. A lot of other rumours and reports are spinning around suggesting that, sorry, not Apple, Amazon, Apple don't want United, that's confirmed. Apple ain't getting United, but Amazon, but there will be some updates on that. There's some rumours that they could be leading the race to buy United. Would they be good owners? Would they be bad owners? That is a good question. There will be better owners than the Glazers. Apple have effectively run multiple businesses. Would it be run as a business? Most likely. But would it be run with a business that wants success? Because if you have successful on the pitch, it's better for the business, yes. Would they get rid of Murta and Arnold and get someone who would get better transfers in so they could have more success without having to spend 100 million instead of 50 million because they take 2 months to stall on a deal? Yes. I think Amazon would run Man United a lot better than the Glazers. Their goal might be business, but they're the type of people to get the right people in so that we're successful on the pitch. Because if we're successful on the pitch, it means we then create more money. Now, let's dive into ten Hag. So, ten Hag has had very brutal training to kind of test Manchester United characters. Who stays, who goes, who rises to the occasion. Ten Hag very much says in training it's about character. One of ten Hag's big things at Man United is character, and mindset and having hard workers. And ten Hag makes training very difficult. And when there's setbacks, he likes to look at how players respond. Ten Hag's one of his main things is if a player is having a poor period, he likes to see how they respond, how they get back up. And that's why Rashford's impressed him. That's why Martial's impressing him. And this is what Sancho is hopefully doing, going off to the Netherlands. But there's certain players that ten Hag will just look at in training. They're not up to his levels. If you cannot be in his high levels of training, he wants gone. So we're looking over who's ten Hag going to sell or buy, but also what's been said on ten Hag. So diving into old news, just to give you a bit of context about ten Hag's training. Remember, Erik ten Hag himself took part in an intense running session held the day after Man United's defeat to Brentford to show his togetherness with the players, was reported by Laurie Whitwell. So remember, 33-degree heat was like the hottest day of the year. Ten Hag and all the Man United players went on a run. And Ten Hag went on a run with the Man United players to say, I'm with you on this because it was my fault as well. I got my tactics wrong. So he gained the respect of the players. But the fact that he made them do an intense run in that heat after a loss to Brentford, you've got to applaud him for it. It was also said by De Gea, Ten Hag is demanding with everyone. We learn a lot of new things and we train really hard with him. De Gea said multiple times, training with Erik Ten Hag is like another level compared to before. It is hard, but he's demanding, but we get a lot more done. Rashford said, don't get me wrong, it's been tough under Ten Hag, but we've all enjoyed the training sessions and the mixing up well. Rashford said it has been very tough under Ten Hag, but he said he does enjoy it. Bruno said this on Ten Hag, and I spoke about this before, and this is one of my favourite things that came out. He said, first of all, he has an idea, he has a style. You have to follow his rules. He's strict in that, and I like that. He brought discipline, which is something we missed in the past. Everyone must be on the same page. He has an idea, he has a style, but it's discipline. He's strict. And Bruno said on Erik Ten Hag, he's strict, he's tough, but at the same time, he's a nice, easy guy to chat to. So that's a bit of context about Ten Hag, what his training's like, and all of that. And he's basically saying he's strict, he's tough, but he's a nice, easy guy to chat to. So what's been happening in the world of Ten Hag training? Well, I think one of the first examples you can use is Alejandro Garnacho. Didn't impress Ten Hag at the beginning. Ten Hag punished him. Ten Hag knew as a young kid, didn't impress him at the beginning, punished him. And that resulted in Alejandro Garnacho responding and training harder than ever and really impressing Ten Hag in training so he got a chance. And Ten Hag sees that and goes, boom, give Garnacho a new contract. That is the attitude I want. You respond to a setback, you prove that you deserve to play, you get your head down, you work hard, boom, get Garnacho a new contract. Boom, get Delo a new contract. He's absolute madman in training, working crazy hard in training, working crazy hard on the pitch. The passion, boom, get Delo a new contract. Marcus Rashford comes back from a setback in the summer. Marcus Rashford, instead of having fun holidays, focused really hard on his training, getting back to his best, spoke to Ten Hag about it, worked with Ten Hag, did one-on-one sessions, did extra work. Ten Hag was like, boom, he's now performing on the pitch. Get that guy a new contract. That's the attitude Ten Hag wants. Martial is really starting to impress Erik Ten Hag and he's willing to give him a go. Man United were almost done with Martial and Ten Hag's like, no, give him a go. Ten Hag has spoken about Jadon Sancho and believes there is a top player in Jadon Sancho and is praising Sancho. And Ten Hag is praising Sancho because even though he hasn't been great on the pitch, Ten Hag sees that Sancho has the right mentality. You know, it was said that Jadon Sancho is currently training in the Netherlands with coaches recommended by Ten Hag to refocus ahead of the resumption of the season. He's deleted social media, he's not having fun this break, he's just getting right down to training and getting back to his best. And that's why Ten Hag respects Jadon Sancho for that as well. It was also said that Facundo Calestri is so keen to impress Erik Ten Hag that he's regularly asked Man United coaches Dan Fletcher, Steve McLaren and Benny to stay for training for extra sessions. So not only are players desperately trying to impress Erik Ten Hag, but it's creating a new environment where younger players like Calestri see that, Garnacho's impressed, they get a go. They see how Rashford's impressing, and Calestri, he plays for Uruguay, he wants game time, he'll probably go out on loan because he's not going to play enough for United, but he's very much just put so much work in because this new atmosphere is being created at United, but all the players seem to just want to be the best. It was also said, Ten Hag said this about Rashford, which I think really stands out. He said, Ten Hag on Rashford on day one training with him, he said, if you give your best, you will improve and you will perform on the pitch. Then life is easy and your performance will go up. That's all Ten Hag said to Rashford. Give your best, you will improve and perform on the pitch. And you've got to rise to this. And Rashford's risen to it. Sancho's trying to rise to it. We know that Lisandro, Varane, Casemiro, they already had that kind of mentality. We know that Sancho is now putting his head down and doing extra training. Garnacho's putting his head down. Palestri's desperate to impress. Delo's just gone a madman. Malacia, Luke Shaw's doing well. Even Maguire's trying to put his head down and focus. But this is where Ten Hag sees the difference in mentality. There's the people that aren't playing for United, like Wan-Bissaka, who haven't been particularly impressive in training, according to reports. Again, I don't know if that's true, but it's a bit of rumour and speculation. There's the Eric Bailly's, the Alex Tellers, there's the Dean Hendersons that decided they wanted to go and not be part of Ten Hag's project. And Ten Hag's very much got to do a lot of sales. There will be a lot of outs in summer. He's giving out a few new contracts. Will Fred get a new contract? Will Luke Shaw get a new contract? Because only Rashford and Delo are getting a new contract so far. Will De Gea get a new contract? Ten Hag's going to let a lot of people go in the summer. Ten Hag wants a big rebuild, lots in, lots out. And Ten Hag very much judging the character in training as well as how they perform on the pitch to see if they deserve to be part of his long-term project and all of that. Now, I really like Ten Hag. I thought I'd do a video kind of focusing on Ten Hag as well as a bit of news on the Glazed out situation. So do smash that like button if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new, because there will be a video tonight. I'm sorry if I spoke really quick there. But But let me know your thoughts. 10-hour strict training, do you think it's the right thing for United? Do you think judging the character is a good way to test if they should stay or go? How do you feel about 10 organised training? I think it was definitely needed after last season. He's getting control of the dressing room, because even after the Ronaldo situation, no one else has acted out.